Great to see you here again and welcome back to the Math Survival Guide offered to you by the Custer Academy. My name is Luc de Custer, I'm founder of the Custer Academy, and in this video about polynomials I will talk about the multiplication of polynomials. Multiplication is very important and we will see how we can do the multiplication of two polynomials and what we can learn from that. So let's have a look at the different elements when we look at the product of two polynomials. And we have to look at the product here, in our case, two polynomials with one variable. And what we're going to use, in fact, is the distributive property of multiplication. You may have seen that in math, where you look at the different properties of the different operations. And in this case, the distributive property combines additions and multiplications. The first example I can show you is the multiplication of A multiplied with B plus C between the brackets. And what we're going to do is to first multiply A with B, so we have A times B, and then we multiply A with C. And the final result is A times B plus A times C. Now, let's have a look at a simple example. We multiply 2 with x plus 3, or x plus 3 we multiply with 2. So the first multiplication gives us 2 times x, and then 2 times 3, so the final result is 2x plus 6. We can also look at the distributive property when we have more complex polynomials or expressions. Here I have a plus b multiplied with x plus y, but basically we will be using the same property whatever the size of the polynomial is. So we first multiply a plus b with x and with y. So we find here a plus b times x plus a plus b times y. And again we apply the rule of distributive, the properties of distributive on these multiplications. So we find ax plus bx plus ay plus by. Now we can also do that in a different way, and we can first multiply a with x, it gives us a times x. Then we multiply a or b, in this case with x. Then we multiply a with y and b with y, and we find basically the same result, ax plus bx plus ay plus by. Let's have a look at the different way how we can multiply. There are different ways. We can do it like we did it before, but we can also say that we write the multiplication in this form. So we have a plus b on the top multiplied with x plus y. And that's the classical multiplication we've seen before. So basically we multiply now y with a. So we have y times a plus b times y. And now we multiply it with x. So we have ax plus bx. We make the addition and we find ax plus ay plus bx plus by. And that's a different way to do the calculation. You can use whatever method you like. Some people like the first method, some people like this method. Let's have a look at the first example. We have two polynomials of the same order. A index n is 5x to the power 2 plus 1, and bn is 3x to the square minus 4. And when we look at this, we do the multiplication, we write it in the first format, and now we start using the distributive property. So we have the first property, the first time we say 5x to the square plus 1, we multiply it with 3x to the square. And then we add minus 4 times 5x to the power 2 plus 1. And now we apply the distributive property on this calculation. So we have the same equation again, and now we're going to apply the distributive property again. So we have 3x to the square times 5x to the square. Then we have 3x to the square times 1. And then we have for the next one minus 4 times 5x to the square, which gives us minus 20x to the square. And then we have minus 4 times 1, which is equal to 1. Now we can say that 3x to the square times 5x to the square is equal to 15x to the power 4, because we add the exponents. Then we put that as the first term, so we already have 15x to the power 4. And now we resolve 3x to the square minus 20x to the square, which gives me minus 17x to the square. So we add also that to the formula, and finally we add the minus 4, which is the last term of this polynomial. So the multiplication of a index n with b index n is 15x to the power 4 minus 17x to the square minus 4. And that's the first way to do it. Now we can also do it in the second method, or using the second method. So first we multiply 5x to the square plus 1 with minus 4. So we find minus 20x to the square minus 4. And now we multiply 5x to the square plus 1 with 3x to the square. So we find 15x to the power 4 plus 3x to the square. And we add all of these polynomials together, and we find 15x to the fourth minus 17x to the square minus 4. Now, when we look at the order of the polynomials when we multiply, we have to look at some special cases. When we look at the example that we took, we have an and bn, which are both polynomials of the second order. So the first coefficient different from 0 is the coefficient of x to the square. And when we look at this, the new order of the product, when we look at the result, 15x to the power 4 minus 17x to the square minus 4, is now equal to 4. So the multiplication of the two polynomials gives us the sum of the orders of the two polynomials. In our case, an had order 2, bn also has order 2, so the sum of the two orders is basically 4. When we look at the more general multiplication, for example, we have a polynomial of order n multiplied with a polynomial of order m, then we find the new order, which is equal to n plus m. So that was it for this new video. Anyway, we will do more exercises related to polynomials, multiplication of polynomials. We will also look deeper into the division of polynomials, but that's it for now. Don't forget to click the subscribe button, click on the bell button, and every time we have a new video, YouTube will inform you about it. I thank you very much, and I'm looking forward to the next video. Bye-bye.